Okay, so hello everyone. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. My name is Shoukei Matsumoto. So before we begin our journey today, I want to acknowledge the unique moment we all find ourselves in. We are living in an age defined by the rapid emergence of artificial intelligence. For many, this brings a mix of excitement and anxiety. But I believe AI offers us something more profound than just new tools. It offers us a mirror. This is a unique mirror, one that reflects the vastness of our collective human knowledge, our creativity, and our capacity for connection. But it also reflects our blind spots, our hidden biases, and our deep-seated tendency to get trapped in our own limited perspectives. To navigate this era, we need more than just technical skill. We need a new kind of literacy, what I call human literacy. This is not about learning to code or operate machines. It is the fundamental human capacity to see ourselves, to see others, and to see our world with greater awareness, clarity, and compassion. It is the literacy of connection in an age of computation. So the question for us today is, how do we cultivate this essential literacy? How do we learn to read our reflection in the age of AI mirror with wisdom and humility? The answer, I believe, lies in an ancient practices that are now more relevant than ever. It begins with the simple, radical act of listening. Today, we will explore the value of mindful listening as a central practice in Pure Land Buddhism, the concept of interbeing, and what it means to be a good ancestor. I hope these explorations will serve as your practical training in human literacy, providing you with meaningful perspectives that you can integrate into your daily life. All right, before we start, let me briefly explain about Pure Land Buddhism, which may be really new to you. In other words, what I call people's Buddhism, an approach to Buddhism that can be practiced in everyday life without requiring special training. About 850 years ago, two great Buddhist figures, namely Honen and Shinran, opened Buddhism beyond the monastics to all people. The practice they established, called Nembutsu, which must be familiar to Japanese but may not to non-Japanese participants. But I would say it's mindful listening. So this tradition continues to enrich our lives. At the heart of Pure Land Buddhism is the practice of listening, not just hearing sounds with our ears, but attuning our whole being to the voice of the word. In today's session, we'll explore how can we listen mindfully? What does it mean that everything exists as interbeing? What can we do today to become good ancestors? Let's find the answers not just through concepts, but through practice and experience. So I try to make this session as interactive as possible. Now let's begin our journey together. Okay, so I told you that I want to make this presentation and session as interactive as possible, and in addition, I want to make this as analog as possible. So let me use the physical paper to show some, words. All right, so let me start with this. So, okay, hopefully. So, mindful listening is central to Pure Land Buddhist practice. This act of listening is the first step toward wisdom in Buddhism. Buddhism teaches that there are 3 stages on the path to wisdom: listening, contemplating, and practicing. This order is significant. It all begins with truly listening. Okay, let me write kanji. This in Asian calligraphy, the character for listening consists of gate. Can you see this? Kind of, gate form, and ear. This means ear, suggesting an ear within an open gate. Okay, thus mindful listening is not merely receiving information, but opening the gate of our hearts and listening with our whole being. So, mindful listening can occur at 3 levels: listening to others and our environment, outer, attending to surrounding sounds, others' words, and nature's voice. And second, inner, listening to our inner voice, noticing thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. At last, listening to the voice of the Buddha, attuning to the larger whole, messages from unseen dimensions. These levels are not separate but interconnected. Through practice, we naturally transition from listening to hearing, from conscious effort to natural receptivity. All right, so Uh, in this session, I want to include three parts for a kind of meditation, right? A kind of workshop online. So in this session, I wanna share a screen. Let me. Okay. So now you see the screen. Now let's experience mindful listening through a practical exercise that will deepen our listening in 4 stages. Let's try. Please close your eyes or soften your gaze downward. And I brought a bell. Stage 1. Attend to your inner voice. First, direct your attention to your inner voice. Notice your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. Observe without judgment. Stage 2. Attend to surrounding sounds. Now direct your attention to the sounds around you. The sounds in the room, nearby sounds, voices, whatever is present. Observe how sounds come and go. Stage 3. Attend to distant sounds and the silence between sounds. Expand your attention further to more distant sounds and notice the silence between sounds. Stage 4. Finally, listen to the voice of Buddha. Listen to the larger whole, the voice of the world. This might not be words, but a kind of sensing. Listen with an open heart. Slowly bring your awareness back, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Now, let's move to our next section. Through practicing mindful listening, we begin to become aware of a deeper reality called interbeing. All right. So now I came back to the writing part. We typically think of self as an individual isolated from the surrounding world, but with deeper observation, we realize this is actually an illusion. We are not isolated entities, but beings that emerge within relationships, what we call interbeing. In Buddhism, this is also called dependent co-arising. Dependent co-arising. It means that everything arises through countless conditions coming together. Nothing exists independently. Everything is mutually dependent and interconnected. So, can you see this? Two concepts that help us understand interbeing are habit and habitat. From the moment we are born, we exist within a specific habitat, not just the natural environment, but everything surrounding us, society, culture, family, language, and more. Living in this habitat, we develop numerous habits accordingly. Conversely, our habits influence our habitat too. For instance, our habit of using plastic products leads us environmental pollution. A change in our habitat which in turn affects our health and lifestyle. This creates a continuous cycle of mutual influence. This structure applies to all living beings. The self is this dynamic relationship itself, a constant interaction of habitat, habit, and inhabitant. Right? Now, let's observe this habitat-habit relationship through an exercise. Okay, so let me move on to the next part of our reflection, habit-habitat observation. Now on the screen you see the relationship between habit and habitat. Now let's observe this habit and habitat relationship through an exercise. Select and observe a nearby object, whatever it is. Think of an object near you, perhaps your phone, coffee cup, or the chair you are sitting on. Okay, consider the object's habitat. Consider where this object came from. In what environment was it created? Who made it? What materials were used? Observe your relationship with it, which is habit. How do you use this object? What habits have you developed around it? explore the network of interdependence through this object. Is there a clear boundary between this object and you? How are you connected to people and places worldwide through this object? Thank you for joining. Slowly bring your awareness back, and when you're ready, open your eyes. uh, I just checked the chat and I appreciate the diversity of the items you mentioned. Great. Yeah, we are surrounded by so many objects in our habitat that affects our habit and vice versa. So this recognition of interbeing is deeply connected to becoming good ancestors. In our next and the last session, we'll explore this concept. All right. Let me continue my writing habit. Wrongly. Yes, good ancestor. In People's Buddhism, ancestors matter a lot. As Roman Krutznarik asks in his book, The Good Ancestor, how can we become good ancestors for the future generation? This question is central to our exploration today. We currently face three interconnected crises, demanding a profound shift in consciousness. The climate crisis challenges how we relate to nature. The AI revolution forces us to reconsider what it means to be human. And geopolitical tensions reveal a crisis in how we relate to each other across differences. These crises stem from what I call supremacy thinking, the belief that humans are superior to nature, that technology should dominate human values, or that some human groups should dominate others. So, how can we become good ancestors? Three essential virtues emerge. The first one should be humility. First, we must admit we don't know the future. Our role is to leave more options for future generations to choose from. In other words, citing the message from my good friend Audrey Tan, the role of the people today, namely us, for the future generation is leaving wider canvas for the people to come. The second one should be patience. In nature, there is no success or failure. These emerge only when we judge things. We must not rush for immediate results. As I like to say, be wise enough to wait to see flowers bloom. And last but not least, open-mindedness. We must observe people and things as they are, without immediately judging good or bad. Japanese wisdom offers the concept of shihoyoshi or four-way good, extending merchant ethics to include respect for the invisible, including nature, ancestors, and future generations. So, good ancestors leave future generations not fear, but hope and possibility. Okay, so let me share my screen, the last part of the screen share. Yes, now you see. Now let's practice a mindful meditation through the three circles of past, present, and future. Okay, adjust your posture and close your eyes or soften your gaze downward. Visualize the three circles in your mind's eye. Imagine three circles. First, in the center, a small circle representing the 8 billion people alive today. Next, on its left, put a circle about 10 times larger, representing the 100 billion people who lived in the past 50,000 of years, all our ancestors. And finally, on its right, a circle about 1,000 times larger, representing the 7 trillion people who will be born in the next 50,000 of years, all our descendants. We are the small circle in the middle, the crucial link between past and future. Right? Connect with ancestors. Direct your attention to the circle of your ancestors. Feel the connection with those who came before us. Think of the innovators, innovations, knowledge, and cultures they've passed down to us. In my tradition, we connect with our ancestors through the nembutsu, through the chanting of the name of Buddha. So, as I chant briefly, simply listen to the sound as a bridge between past and present. Let me chant for a while. Namu Amidabu, 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 Namu Amidabu. Namu Amidabu, Namu Amidabu, Namu Amidabu, Namu Amidabu, Namu Amidabu, Namu Amidabu. Now, let's connect with future generations. Shift your awareness to the circle of future generations. As you breathe calmly, consider, how can I become a good ancestor for future generations? How can I become a good ancestor for the future generations? What wisdom, what values what kind of word do you wish to pass on? Return your attention to the image of the three circles. Feel how past, present, and future all exist simultaneously in this moment. Take a deep breath, and when you are ready, slowly open your eyes. What did you feel? All right. So, let me wrap up my session. Today, we've explored three interconnected concepts: mindful listening, interbeing, and becoming a good ancestor. Mindful listening helps us attend to ourselves, others, and the world around us. This practice reveals our interconnectedness, interbeing, which naturally leads to our responsibility as good ancestors. Being a good ancestor isn't just an idea, but a way of living that we experience with our whole being. Here are some concrete ways to apply these concepts in your daily life. For mindful listening, set aside 5 minutes each morning to tune into your inner voice and surroundings. In conversations, listen to the thoughts and emotions behind the words. For deepening interbeing awareness, notice that network of relationships behind everyday objects. Reflect on how your habit influence your environment and vice versa. And for becoming a good ancestor, apply the seventh generation thinking to important decisions, or cultivate humility, patience, and open-mindedness in daily actions. Consider what to preserve and what to let go of for future generations. Choose a practice from each category to try this week. Even small changes can transform our way of being in the world. All right. So, yeah, thank you for putting comments in the chat. And as we bring our time together to a close, let's reflect on the journey we've taken. So, we began with the inward practice of mindful listening, quietening the noise to hear our inner voice and the voice of the world. From there, we expanded our awareness outward, exploring the profound reality of interbeing, the truth that we are not separate, but are woven into the vast web of relationships with each other and our planet. And finally, with the three circles meditation, we stretched our perspective across deep time, feeling our connection to the 100 billion ancestors behind us and the 7 trillion descendants who will follow. The journey from the inner self to the interconnected world and even to the flow of generations is the very practice of human literacy. It is the cultivation of a mind and heart wide enough to hold this complexity of our modern world. At the beginning of our session, I spoke of AI as a mirror. If we look into that mirror with a narrow, fearful, and isolated mind, we will only see our own limitations reflected back at us. But if we look into it with the qualities we've practiced today, with deep listening, with an awareness of our interconnectedness, with the humility of knowing we are but one link in a great chain, then we can see something different. We can see a partner for deeper understanding. We can use this technology not to replace our humanity, but to amplify it. So, the commitments we made today, the small practices you will carry into your week or month or year, are not just for your own well-being. They are acts of ancestral responsibility, I would say. So they are how we become good ancestors in a world we are co-creating with our new forms of non-human intelligence. Right? Remember the circles of humanity. 100 billion ancestors, 8 billion people alive today, and 7 trillion future generations. Yeah, we are the crucial link between the past and the future. Thank you for your mindful listening.